So yeah, Oregon's about to get even scarier. Ever since Dan Lanning left from being the defensive coordinator for the Georgia Bulldogs and became the Oregon Ducks head coach, he has done nothing but win. Historically, Oregon's been known as an offensive powerhouse of a school, but recently, they're known as being one of the most feared defenses in the Pac-12. I mean, the Oregon Ducks give up the third fewest yards per game in the Pac-12, giving up 320 yards, and gave up the fewest points per game with only 17.3 points scored against them in 2023. And now Dan Lanning's look to take Oregon to another level. With Oregon moving to the Big Ten next year, Dan Lanning knew that he had to put together an elite level recruiting class to be able to go up against those bigger bodied schools. And then he went and got the 6th best recruiting class in the class of 2024. And most of those recruits are defensive players. So today I want to take a look at the top 10 recruits that the Oregon Ducks landed on the defensive side of the ball in the class of 2024. Now, Oregon actually brought in way more than just 10 players on the defensive side of the ball in this 2024 class, but I don't want this video to be forever long, but I still want to give a shout out to those defensive recruits. So the Oregon Ducks also brought in on the defensive side of the ball 3-star defensive lineman Tion Gray, 3-star edge rusher Jackson Jones, 4-star linebacker Dylan Williams, as well as 4-star linebacker Kingston Lopa. But all my Oregon Duck fans, leave this video a like, hit that subscribe button, and after you've watched all the players' highlights, comment down below who are you guys most excited to land, because the rankings are all cool, but it's what the play looks like on the field that really should get you the most excited. So after you've seen their highlights, comment down below who you're most excited to add to that defensive side of the ball. And with that being said, let's jump straight into the video. 3, 2, 1. So to start things off, Oregon went the JUCO route and landed the 2nd best player available in JUCO and the #1 corner in JUCO in 4-star prospect Sione Laulea. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your last name. This kid is 6'4" and 185 pounds at corner. Lock him up. Where you going? 6'4" is elite level height for the corner position. Come screaming down, come screaming down. Don't get lost in the trap. Let's go. I love that motor. I love how hard that he finished that play. Where you going? And yeah, oh, way to break that up. 6'4", like that is so, like I'm 6'2". I would hate to have to go up against him as a corner. Like as a receiver, one of the biggest advantages that you have is just being taller than most of the corners that you go up against if you're a bigger body corner. When you're going up against a guy who's 6'4" and 185 pounds, you're talking about a guy who can flat out just cover anywhere across the field, any body type of wide receiver. And this is the start. We haven't even gotten into the meat of the video, and this is where we're starting off. Next up, the Oregon Ducks landed big body 4-star linebacker Braden Plat. Yeah, that's him at running back. He's 6'1", 220 pounds, and this kid is able to sit down, little boy. Oh my Lord. Dude just got absolutely ran over. Yeah, as you can see, Braden Plat is going to be a physical linebacker for the Oregon Ducks. I'm telling y'all, Dan Lanning took everything that he was doing at Georgia and just immediately implemented it with Oregon. I think that he did such a phenomenal job of just going as a coordinator to immediately being put as a head coach. Did a phenomenal transition from there. Yeah, Braden Plat's just an athlete. Like this kid, 220 pounds running like that, like this kid is something special. And why stop at one 4-star linebacker? We're actually on 4-star linebacker number 3 in this class. This is Kamar Mothudi. This kid is 6'2", 228 pounds. Another big body linebacker. Like we started to see more linebackers that were like 6'1" and 205 pounds. 6'2", 228 is elite level size for a linebacker. And again, showing off he's got that athleticism too. Like you're not suffering the athleticism for a bigger body linebacker. Like they're really going out there and finding these just great athletes with bigger frames. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, Oregon is going to be one of the toughest defenses in the Big Ten next year. Like literally, they do such a good job of just recruiting at the defensive positions when Dan Lanning got there. I mean, a lot of people, they go to Georgia because like, okay, yeah, Georgia's known for having great defenses, but obviously like the coaching is going to be a massive part of that. Dan Lanning is taking a lot of these kids. He's able to recruit all across the country. Sit down, run through his face. Run through his face. Kamar Mothudi. Remember the name. This kid is cold. Absolutely devastated. Next up, we gotta go to that defensive line. Remember when I said that Dan Lanning was recruiting all across the country? Well, why not land the #1 player in the state of Oklahoma in 4-star recruit Zavien Sims? This kid is 6'3" and 275 pounds of pure man-child. His release off the line is so quick. Just look at, does a phenomenal job of getting on the edge, blowing that up, and then just completely stuffing that play. Zavien Sims, again, such a great pickup on the defensive line. Big body, 6'3", 275. You're talking about a guy that's gonna be able to move anybody that he wants. Nope, where you going? Okay, he's showing up, he's go get you one. Ah, yeah, catch your body, let's go. Next up, this is 4-star corner Dakota Fields. When Oregon is trying to pick up players, they get players at elite size. He is 6'2" and 185 pounds. And on top of that, he's also one of the fastest players in the country. Oh yeah, he's also a top 10 player in the state of California. I'm telling you, Oregon just absolutely showed out. We're not even to the top 5 yet. Oregon might have had one of the best defensive recruiting classes out of any of the schools. Like, I mean, Georgia, Alabama, you name it. Obviously, the rankings, they're gonna say like Georgia and Alabama did a better job. When you look at pure talent, like what the field is showing you, I think that Oregon might have had the best defensive pickups out of any team. Yeah, he's just bullying these wide receivers. They can't even get off the line against him. Next up, I know that they're called the Oregon Ducks, but they're really building the no-fly zone out here. This is 4-star safety Aaron Flowers, and he is the 4th best safety in the entire country. He is 6 foot, 202 pounds. Again, another just physical specimen. Like, 6 foot is like, okay, this is decent, but then 202 pounds, like that's a college-sized DB right there. You're gonna be having these 6'2" corners, and then you're gonna be having these safeties that can lay the boom on anybody that they need to. I thought he was about to break that for a second. I was about to go crazy if he did that. But yeah, Aaron Flowers, this kid is just a flat out, just a center fielder. Wherever you need him, I mean, just look at how well he tracked that ball. Just read the quarterback's eyes the entire way. Always kept everything out in front of him. I think Aaron Flowers is gonna do a phenomenal job. I mean, just look at how he covers this right here. He's playing his third. You can clearly tell that this is third's coverage. He's playing his third, opens up his hips because he's making this wide receiver do something. A lot of corners, they would either stay in their back pedal and they can't back pedal quick enough and then they end up getting burnt. He opens up his hips. He's like, all right, where's this guy trying to go? Opens up a little early because he's thinking, okay, maybe he might try to run a post, breaks that off and then just undercuts that and then give me that. Let's go. It was a bad throw, but overall, great coverage right there. I mean, just look at how much ground he's covering right here. Sees this, he starts off in the middle of the field, and by the time that he's going to pick this off, he's already like 3 yards past the other hash mark in 2 seconds. Like, this kid, he can cover space. You remember with the past couple of players that I've been talking about, how they're like all kind of just college sized? Well, why not just get one of the biggest players available in the class of 2024? This is 4-star defensive lineman Jericho Johnson. He is 6'2.5", 366 pounds. You guys also got Jaquan McCroy. He's a 6'8", like 380-pound offensive tackle. You guys might have brought in the 2 biggest players. I mean, look at him just throwing this kid away. Absolutely threw him away. You guys might have gotten 2 of the biggest players in the entire country in this one recruiting class. Blow him up. Yeah, Jericho Johnson, this kid's going to be something special. Again, you need big bodies and you need guys that you can rotate on that defensive line. Jericho Johnson's going to be a mainstay in the center of that offense, or in the center of that defensive line. Nope, where you going? Just absolutely eats the quarterback. Just his ability to get into the backfield is crazy. So yeah, Oregon just has some obsession with these 6-foot+ corners. This is 6'1.5" and 190-pound 4-star corner who is, oh yeah, the 4th best corner in the country, Ifob Bedu. #1 player in Maryland. Like, Like, this kid is so talented. I'm telling you, between Aaron Flowers, Ifob Bedu, you also bringing in I'm Sione Leulao. Like, you guys have such, and Dakota Fields. Like, all of your DBs are 6 foot or taller, and they're all 180 pounds or heavier. Like, you guys have some big body DBs coming in this recruiting class. I mean, look at this is a beautiful play. Reads this toss, comes down with force, blows up that lead block, and goes and makes the tackle himself. Like, that shows you the type of physicality that you're getting from a player like Ifob Bedu. No, where you go? Why would you even do that? Showing off the reach. This kid, he's going to be something special. I could just tell by the way that he plays, he is going to be something special. The physicality and the reach with the speed, yeah, you got something there. So yeah, just another massive high school recruit, 6'5", 290-pound, 4-star defensive lineman Aydin Breland, coming out of modern day high school. He's the 8th best defensive lineman in the country. Top 50 recruit, top 40 recruit actually. He's the 36th best player in the class of 2024. Yeah, Aydin Breland is an absolute dog. Like, this guy, pairing him up with Jericho Johnson is going to be unfair. You're going to be having like 600 pounds of defensive linemen in the middle of that line. And then you got you got a guy we're about to cover here in a second who's going to be just absolutely hunting after the quarterback. Plus these man children of DBs. Like, Oregon's about to have the scariest defense in all of college football. I'm letting y'all know that right now. Give it another year or two. Oregon already showed that they can have an elite level defense. Now they're bringing in the recruits. Now that Dan Lanning has shown that, hey, I can have defensive success at Oregon, he's not about to start bringing in the pieces that are going to allow him to put together just freakish numbers in the Big Ten with the Oregon Ducks. And last but certainly not least, this is 5-star recruit and the number 3 edge rusher in the country, Elijah Rushing. Has the perfect last name for being an edge rusher. This guy is 6'6", 250 pounds. Like, the prototypical size that Oregon is able to land with these recruits. Like, you're not bringing in, oh yeah, he's 6'3", 210 pounds, but we might be able to get a little bit of size on him. All these guys is like, hey, we're just getting muscle on you and keeping you at the exact same weight. Like, all these guys have perfect college playing weight. It's really just about trimming some of that baby fat, you know, getting them on a proper diet and just turning into some freak athletes. But Elijah Rushing, he is the creme de la creme of the Oregon Ducks 2024 recruiting class. And this kid just does not stop. He is a flat out force of nature. He gets after players. He bends extremely well. For a player that's 6'6", most of the taller edge rushers, they can't bend super well. They're more of a speed or power type of guy. I mean, look at him just get low right there, bend around that tackle, and then just get into the backfield. Elijah Rushing, pairing him up with Jericho Johnson and Aiden Breland, is going to be unfair. So as you can see, you can understand why I'm so hype about Oregon's defensive, just what they're going to look defensively heading into next season. The amount of talent that they brought in and just the size. I mean, you're bringing in a 6'4" and 185-pound corner, a 6'2" and 185-pound corner, a freaking 6'2", 228-pound linebacker. Like, you're bringing in so much talent with these freakish frames that it's gonna be like, Oregon's about to be the most physical team. It's gonna be Oregon and Ohio State for the best defenses in the Big Ten. And the way that Dan Lanning is recruiting and the way that he's developing these guys, Oregon might have the best all-around defense in the Big Ten next season. I'm just calling it right now. Oregon, what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball is going to put the Big Ten on notice. But I want to hear from all my Duck fans. Leave this video a like and hit that subscribe button and turn on all your notifications, because we're going to keep you up to date with everything that Oregon's doing over here. We also just going to keep you up to date with everything going on in the college football world. Daily uploads. If you didn't know, that means every single day we're dropping a new video, keeping up to date with everything going on in college football. I love and appreciate each and every single last one of y'all. Hey, if nobody has told you this today, I love and appreciate each and every single last one of y'all. Know that you do matter in this world and that you are valuable. I know that sometimes we can just go a long time just being isolated, you know, just kind of just like floating through the world and not really interacting with people. But know that I genuinely do care about you. And if you ever feel alone, or if you ever whenever you're alone, you get some crazy thoughts that pop up in your mind. I know that we've all been there to certain degrees. Know that you can always call upon Jesus Christ. If you ever feel like you're down and out, if you ever feel like you have no escape, or if you ever just are in a season of just not knowing, if you need to make a tough decision and you don't really know where to go, know that you can always call upon Jesus Christ. All he wants to do is just pour out his love into our lives and just show us how much he loves us. Always remember that you're never alone. Love and appreciate all y'all, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Ciao.